Don't make this rookie mistake when it comes to your retirement planning. This is bad. Unfortunate, but it's bad. But it's a good, what a hipster kid say. It's a good learning experience, a good teaching moment. A good teaching moment. Do better. Do better. All right, so I'm going to get my glamorous reading specs. Look at that, dude. Haven't shaved, haven't brushed, haven't showered, got my hat on, and I'm still glamorous because I got my reading specs. So this is on the video I did yesterday about, what was that video? Do this 2 years before your retirement. All right, and the concept was, man, start locking some low risk money, because right now you're getting like 5 1/4 in a money market account. And I'm telling you, man, it's, all right, I mean, you don't have to do it. I don't care. But I'm just telling you, man, right now, we can't afford another 2008. If you're about ready to retire, that's doomsday scenario. So this guy writes in, he goes, the important bit that is missing in this comparison is the return above inflation versus return. 5.3% money market return cannot be compared to the long-term average of 7% above inflation for the S&P 500. Sure, you sit on cash if you want stability as you retire, but you have to acknowledge you're going backwards due to inflation. All right, that's, oh my goodness, that's such a bad. All right, this is the premise of sequence of return risks. All right, sequence of return risk. I get this all the time. The guy's a young guy. Look, I was there. I used to think, let's privatize Social Security, put in stocks. Look, I was there. Many moons ago, I was there. Stocks for the long run. I mean, I got, 3 editions of the Siegel book, Stocks for the Long Run. Look at stocks versus bonds. We say, stocks. I was there. And then 2008 came along, and boom, all of a sudden I said, that's not good. 2008 was a mind changer for me, a life changer, because when everything is falling south, your income's dropping, your investment portfolio is dropping, your debts are going up, the cost to service those debts are going up. This is happening right now across this country, by the way. Trust me, we know some entrepreneurs. I talk to people who are getting laid off all the time, man, all the time. My daughter is looking for work. She found it, thankfully, but there's a lot of people that are not in a good place. I know with a jobs report, dude, that's okay. Look, I never bought the jobs report under Trump, never bought it under Reagan, never, because the presidents don't create jobs. It's people who create jobs. The presidents don't do squat. They can get out of the way, that's it, but they don't create jobs. So they got a good jobs report today. They're stunning jobs. Okay, yeah, if you buy that, I got some oceanfront property in West Virginia, because West Virginia is, better than Arizona. You know what I'm saying? It is. Come on. And this is from a guy who got married in Arizona, Cave Creek, Arizona, to be perfectly honest with you. To let you know, we got married in Cave Creek. The justice of the peace. It wasn't a Catholic guy. It was my brother was there. My brother's soon-to-be wife. My wife's best friend Melissa was there, and my wife she was working with some lady named Kathleen. So it was basically, I think it was it, just us 5. And we went to some Mexican restaurant in Cave Creek, Arizona, and some guy bought us a cake for the whole crew there. It was fun. And 24 years later, she's still with me. Mind-boggling. Oh, am I telling you stories? You don't like the stories I share? There's another guy in that same, he goes, the problem with your stuff is you always get off tangent with your stories. Dude. This channel is for me to have fun with. You don't have to be here. It's okay. It's okay. If I was intending to make the biggest YouTube channel in the world, if anyone wants to go outside, I would be a lot more formal. You want to go out? Then I am. But I'm not intending to make the biggest YouTube channel in the world. Hey, come on. You going out? Oh, boy. You can't just stand there, baby. No. Come on. All right, what are we doing, bud? Whatever. The dogs win again. My whole premise is to make enough money to pay the mortgage, educate enough people, get enough people to say, I want to talk to that guy, Josh. He seems all right. Some people say you shouldn't wear your hat on inside. I don't care. Some people say you should put a tie on. I don't care. Some people don't like my conspiracy theories. Don't care. It's okay. Oh, boy. There he is sitting down with the door wide open. But you're 4 minutes into it, you're just yapping. All right, so anyway, let's take a look what this guy gets wrong. This is fun for me. I enjoy it. You don't have to. It's okay. We got dogs. We got conspiracy theories. We got financial stuff. We got freaking pretty boy Josh without shaving, without even showering. What else could you want? Send me a super chat. So this guy makes a mistake of, that's not going to work. What the heck? Hold on a second. All right. Where'd my black one go? What did I do with it? Oh, boy. So this guy makes a mistake, which is pretty typical, actually. There we go. Stocks have averaged 10% a year, each and every year, from 1926 to 2023. Look at that. Stocks have averaged 10% a year. What they always forget is someday, no way, you'll understand the long run never comes. I'm here to tell you now, each and every one, son, you better learn it fast, you better learn it young, because someday never comes. This never, you don't get 10% a year every year. I can't believe we have to go through this. This is why we have something called a sequence of return risk. Never mind 1929 to 1933. Never mind 1970, let me put it over here. 1973 to 1974. 73, 74. 2000, 2003, first quarter, and then, of course, 2007 through 2009. All right, so we had, let's see, right here we're down about 45%. Right here we're down about 70%. Right here is 9, 11, 22, whatever that is. Right here we're down 57%. You don't get this. You don't get 10% a year. In fact, Vanguard did a study, and they do it every year. It's great. They say the average return, they'll go like this. So we'll just use that as an average return. And they'll say between 8 and 12, they'll say this is our 10% average rate of return. They say between 8 and 12%, you only about like 7 out of 94 years was between 8 and 12%. So it's like less than 10% on any given year was between 8 and 12, never mind 10%. So the market has these horrific down years, and then it's countered with these awesome up years. The trend is positive, so the trend is going upwards. It is. Huge up years. Down, 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 and then up. You see what I'm saying? The market has, but it's never like this. It's never like this. So what happens? The guy who retired here, the guy who retired here, the guy who retired here, and then there is freaking he is sunk. He's sunk. On the other hand, if you retired in 1982, 1975, you're freaking loving life. So the guy who retired in 1973 and 74, his ship is sunk. 1 year later, the guy's freaking living large. He can buy a catamaran, he can light cigars with $100 bills, he can freaking do whatever he wants to do. But the guy who retired just literally 2 years in 1973 versus 1975, but they both got 10%. But the problem is this guy's 10% went away because his money went away. So even though the market got 10%, it doesn't matter because he's done. How do you not get this, people? Not you guys, just this guy here. Dave Ramsey, how do you not get this? If you're retired here, you're done for, even though your stocks got 10% on average. The problem is your money ran out. On the other hand, if you retired here, you're freaking golden, even though you got 10% on average, because you retired when the market just started going up. No one is sitting there saying put your money in the money market forever. Well, actually, I will tell you what I said on that video is I just is weird. I said, this guy I was working with, they were getting a 5.3% rate of return with a standard deviation of 10.5. And they were pretty good. They were fine. So I said, if that's the case, and I can get a 5.3% rate of return with no standard deviation, i.e. the money market, well, guess what? Now I'm going to be finer or more fine. Why? Because the rate of return is 5.3, and if it's stable, the rate of return of 5.3 is volatile. I'm still coming in ahead. The rate of return of 5.3 that's stable, i.e. a money market, is even better because there's no downside risk. None. So if we can make it work with a 5.3%, and I can do it without risk, why would I take the risk? Now, there might be a reason you want to take the risk. Maybe you say, well, I don't want to sit here forever. Okay, that's fine. You don't have to. Maybe the money market rates go down. That's fine too. Maybe you can get, I think Sergio said you can get 10-year CDs at like 5.5. I haven't seen that anywhere. I don't get that. I didn't see any 10-year CDs at 5.5. But be that as it may, money market could easily go down too, I grant you. Are there annuities paying 5%, fixed annuities for 5 years or 6 or 7? Yeah, if they are, freaking 100%. I can no qualm with that at all. If we can make our retirement work at a 5.3% rate of return, and we can reduce the downside. Dude, I've done this Monte Carlos a million times a Sunday. I always show, when it works, I say, look, you can reduce, we put in a more conservative portfolio, it reduces your upside from 5.3 to 4.4, but it narrows your downside too, so it tightens the shot group, and guess what happens? Your probability of success goes up because it's the down. The down. This guy said, oh, you're not beating inflation. What? Do we beat inflation here? Do we beat inflation there? Do we beat inflation there? Do we beat inflation here? In fact, you know what beat inflation here? Bonds. You know what beat inflation there? Bonds. You know what beat inflation there? Bonds. Interesting. You know what's beating inflation now? If we look at the CPI, which is stupid, but you know what's beating inflation right now? Shh, don't tell anybody. Shh. I'm like Bo Jiden, Sniffy Joe. Ooh, it smells of good hair. Ooh, smelling good. But don't tell anybody. Right now, bonds are beating CPI. Shh. But you don't understand. Well, that's your argument. Your argument was that inflation is dwarfing the rates of return on money market. It's just not true. Now, that doesn't mean money market rates are going to stick. I don't think they will. I think the economy is in a bad place, dude. And as such, I think the rates will start going down. I don't think it'll go down until next year. I mean, they got to keep their egg off their face. But be it as it may, right now you're getting 5.3, and you're avoiding that sequence of return risk. That's the whole premise of the 4% rule, by the way. Now, I've said a million times Sunday, my issue with the 4% rule assumes that your spending will go up just like this each and every year, and there's no evidence of that at all. But the sequence of return risk is real. If you retire in 1973, in 1929, in 2000, and again in 2007, your goose is cooked. That's just a fact. Even though if we could say you're averaging 10% a year. Can't have that happen. If you want to lock in CDs, I don't care. The only drawback with CDs are not liquid. That's a drawback. Annuity, you have access to 10% a year. Most annuities give you access to 10% a year. CDs aren't liquid. Annuities, not really liquid either. I mean, to some regard. If you put $100,000 in a CD, in an annuity, you get $10,000 a year without penalty. That's not that liquid to me. But if you have a bunch of money sitting in cash, which is what you should, I got no qualm with that at all. SPIAs, drawback about SPIAs is it's completely illiquid. You're turning your liquidity over for guaranteed income for the rest of your life. I like SPIAs, but I don't think you should put the bulk of your portfolio in there unless you're ready to do that. I mean, I got a guy who we all know and love here. I'm not going to say his name. He put a boatload of money in SPIAs. He's happy as a clam. I got no qualm with that. You want to maintain enough liquidity, though, still in case the furnace goes out and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't want everything in a SPIA, that's for sure. That wouldn't be good. But no, I got like SPIAs, like fixed annuities, like fixed CDs, absolutely. I like bonds. If you don't, oh, by the way, someone said, what if I don't have a money market in my 401k? A short-term bond fund, no big deal. A short-term government bond fund is really what we're shooting for. Like the Vanguard, short-term treasury. Yeah, absolutely. That's what you'd want to do. Now, hope this helps. Love to hear thoughts, comments down below. And don't forget to sign up for my Locals channel. We go live on Locals Wednesday. We'll go live on Locals only on Wednesday. Every Wednesday we go live, $5 a month. You can join, you can participate, and we have a lot of fun. We talk about all kinds of stuff. Fun times. All right, see you.